with studying of one more drug. Mathematical studying is never ending. How much ever you study, you again get updated. So this is one of the very important remedy for gastric disturbances. Very often we get cases that abdomen is distended, abdomen is bloated, full of flatulence. Person is unable to belch out and person is unable to pass out, as if he's been tied from the both the end. This is not asafoetida, this is not lycopodium, this is not carbovage, this is not cinchona. This is also very important remedy for females. There is a sensation as if a ball is arising from the uterus upward and finally get stuck in the throat. Hot ball is arising from the uterus and coming and stuck at the throat. She is unable to swallow it out and slowly that ball again comes and abdomen is distended and she is unable to digest that. That kind of sensation. This is called globus hystericus. This is not sepia, this is not nux moscata, this is not moscus, this is not Abies nigra, or this is not sepia. This is also very important remedy for the females who have got increased sexual desire, so called nymphomaniacal. This is not platina or this is not lilium tigrinum. Here nymphomania, to the extent she cannot bear a touch of females. She cannot got aversion to female child. So that is the peculiarity of this drug. This is also very important remedy for post-operative abdominal conditions. A person went for surgery and after that abdominal some kind of discomfort. This is not staph aureus, this is not sulfuric acid, or this is not allium cepa. This is also an excellent remedy for toothache, especially during the time of pregnancy. Toothache so severe which compels the person to wake up from the sleep and make her to walk around, and then she feels better. This is not Ratania. So this is a drug we commonly known it as wild radish or black radish, called Raphanus sativus. Raphanus sativus. This is one of the very important remedy for various gastric disturbances and various hysterical manifestations. Raphanus sativus, which is commonly known it as radish. This is not the what radish you get in the city, but this is mainly a wild radish. The medicine prepared from the black garden radish. This medicine belongs to the family of cruciferae. Now, why this is called Raphanus? That is mainly because this word derived from the Latin word ra, which means quickly, pianor, that means to appear. That means this plant which rapidly grows or rapidly germinates. Sativa, which means cultivated. Raphanus sativus, that means something which grows rapidly and which is cultivated. That is called Raphanus sativus. Now we have several other drugs with the name attached sativus. For example, allium sativa, avena sativa. Then we have crocus sativa. Like that we have got several drugs. This Raphanus sativus is a native of Southeast Asia. This is the only region where truly wild forms of radish is found. We have in India, Central China and Central Asia appear to have a secondary varieties of Raphanus, but originally the Raphanus sativus is found in Southeast Asia. To prepare the mother tincture, the fresh root is collected immediately before the flowering season in the spring. And also tincture is prepared from the whole fresh plant. This medicine, Raphanus sativus, is been proved by Neusser of France in the year 1840, who not only noted the effects obtained from taking 1 to 2 ounces of the tincture of Raphanus sativus, but he also gathered the information by eating the radishes to a larger quantity. He used the symptoms both from the garden radish and the wild radish has been included. It has also been proved by one more person, Curie. Especially provings were done on women in the potency of 15th and 30th dilutions developed many of the symptoms which have proved to be a characteristics of Raphanus sativus. You can see the image in this slide. There are varieties of Raphanus or varieties of radishes which are different in color, different in shape, different in length. As we know, the Raphanus is derived from the Latin word ra, means which is quickly, piano, which means to appear, because of its rapid germinating property. I think everyone has eaten radishes. Radishes are grown and consumed throughout the world, being mostly eaten as a raw, as a crunchy salad vegetable, which has got a pungent flavor. There are numerous varieties of radishes are found. Radishes owe their sharp flavor due to various chemical compound present on this plant. And we know that radish is a very good diuretic property. It is very good, radishes or radish juices as an excellent diuretic property. It has been used as a general management for renal calculi. Black radish or Raphanus sativus is an edible root vegetable of the family Cruciferae. Radishes are commonly used as one of the common article of diet. Being used as a diet at the same time, Raphanus or radish is act as a poison when you consume in a large quantity, and Raphanus is also a medicine when you prepare in a dynamic form. Raphanus sativus is commonly called the radishes, have had a long relationship with human beings. The edible root has a tough black skin and it has a white flesh inside. They are sometimes round shaped, sometimes they are elongated varieties are found. Like any other radishes, black radish has a sharp flavor. It has got many chemical compounds in that makes it more sharp in flavor. And these chemical compounds which are present in this radishes mainly uses as a pest defense. Because of that strong smell and because of that strong flavor, the insects and other things doesn't come close to radish. You can see in this slide images of two different shapes of black radish. One is very long and elongated, which looks like a tapioca. Another one which is more of round in shape, black outer skin, which resembles that of beetroot, but inner part flesh is white in color. So black radish is an annual plant whose root is encased in a black or dull brown skin and which has got a white flesh inside. Generally, the black radishes are bigger than the spring radishes and grows around 7 to 10 centimeter in diameter or length. In this image, we can see differences clearly between the beetroot and wild radish or black radish or Raphanus sativus. As we all know, wild radish or black radish, which is black in color, when we cut into slice, which has got a white flesh inside. Whereas beetroot, as everyone knows, beetroot is reddish or purplish in looks, and when we cut it is reddish or purplish in appearance. And again, the characteristic and the appearance of the leaves are different. This is how we can differentiate beetroot and wild radish. we'll see the sphere of action of Raphanus sativus. It has got main action on the liver, spleen, and special affinity to the female reproductive organ. It has got profound action on the digestive system. By action of this drug on the digestive system, on this liver, it increases the bile production and it also increases the salivary secretions. And symptoms will not appear if salt is being used along with the radish. By acting on female reproductive organs, it will start producing kind of irritations and kind of increased sexual desire. This drug is mainly adapted to the person who has got a greasy skin, like that of our natrum, like that of our tuja, like that of our graphitis, full of seborrhea, full of pimples, full of sebum collections. Adapt to the individuals who have got edema of the lower eyelids, like that of our apis mellifica. Raphanus is also adapted to the hysterical females, like that of our lacaninum, like that of our moscus, like that of our ignatia, like that of our lachesis. Adapted to the females who are more of nymphomaniacal, that like of our lilium tigrinum, that of our platina. Adapted to the females who have got sexually insomniac. Adapted to the individuals who have a problem after a surgery, like that of our staph aureus or sulfuric acid. For them, this drug is mainly adapted. Let us see some of the keynote indication of Raphanus sativus. We don't have much of the proving symptoms. Most of the time it is indicated during the acute presentations of the complaints, but practically it is very effective for many of the clinical condition. The first important symptom of Raphanus sativus is globus hystericus. Globus hystericus means something is a stuck like sensation. It's more of hysterical symptoms. Here in Raphanus sativus, there is a sensation as if a hot ball is rolling from uterus to the throat and getting stuck over there. So that is a characteristic. It is not just from the stomach, it is deep from the uterus, it is ascending upward and got stuck in the throat. That is a peculiarity of Raphanus sativus. A number of balls ascend from the abdomen to the throat. A peculiar sensation as if a hot foreign body goes up like a ball from the uterus and stops at the beginning of the throat, where it feels like morsel too large to be swallowed, and hence it descends down to the stomach and causing a sensation of bloatedness of stomach. So this is the peculiarity of globus hystericus of Raphanus sativus. Now we have several other drugs for similar symptom of globus hystericus. We have drugs like Abies nigra. We have remedies like ignatia. We have remedies like asafoetida. We have got remedies like moscus, valeriana. So there are several drugs. Now how to differentiate? Now coming back to the Abies nigra, here also has got the peculiar sensation as if a hard boiled egg which is got stuck at the cardiac end of the stomach, something at the lower part of the esophagus or cardiac end of stomach. In Abies nigra, which is mostly indicated for the aged, associated with very offensive breath, and everything turns to be a gas, dyspepsia of old aged, there you can think of Abies nigra. Now in ignatia we all know, which is an hysterical remedy, there also there is a sensation as if a ball got stuck in the throat. And we know ignatia is full of contradictory symptoms, and more of mind symptoms will be there to differentiate. And in ignatia associated with the globus, there is a pain in the throat when he or she is not swallowing. Coming back to Asafoetida, everything a ball is rising from the stomach up and to the throat. And in Asafoetida, it is more of reverse peristalsis and highly offensive eructations and sometimes vomiting of fecal matters. Now Moschus, again a hysterical female, she has got that globus hystericus sensation. In Moschus, she is highly irritable and she has a peculiar tendency to scream till she faints down. So in Moschus, globus associated with fainting spells. And especially Moschus is indicated for the young females who have this globus manifestation. Now in Valeriana, there is a sensation as if a thread is hanging down in the throat. It is not from the stomach or it is not from the uterus. It is only that sensation as if a thread is hanging down, you see in Valeriana, associated with spasms. That's how you can differentiate the globus hystericus of Abies nigra, Valeriana, Moschus, Asafoetida and Ignatia. The second indication of Raphanus sativa is regarding the incarceration of flatus. We have got the incarceration of flatus means as if both the ends are closed. Person is unable to belch out the gas, neither is able to pass it downward. So that is a peculiar condition of Raphanus sativa. So, so much discomfort, abdomen is bloated, he or she is unable to belch out, he or she unable to pass the flatus. That is the state of Raphanus sativus. Wind get accumulated so that it almost stops the breathing. The most characteristic feature is when the flatus cannot be passed either upward or downward. So naturally abdomen become distended, abdomen become tympanic, and it has become so hard and no flatus is emitted at all. Especially such symptomatology you can see someone who underwent some abdominal surgery, where the abdomen is so much hard, filled with air. For them, this drug can be thought of. So that is the incarceration of flatus. Again, for this we have to compare Asafoetida. We have to compare Staphylos aureus also. Next indication of Raphanus is regarding the nymphomania. She has got an increased sexual desire with aversion to her own sex. That means she doesn't like females. That means she doesn't like female child. She doesn't like her sister. She doesn't like her mother. She doesn't like her aunt. At the same time, she likes male child, but she doesn't like female child. Many symptoms of physical and mental seems to rise from the uterus, culminating in a very pronounced attack of nymphomania in Raphanus sativus. With this nymphomania, she has got aversion to her own sex and to children, especially she doesn't like girl child. To the extent of nymphomania is so severe, which leads to sexual insomnia. There is a constant titillation of genitals, constant irritation of genitals. She even cannot bear touch of other women. She cannot bear anyone touching her. Even by accidentally someone touches her, she doesn't like, which causes constant weariness, disgust and fury in her. So that is the peculiarity of Raphanus sativa. Nymphomania with aversion to her own sex. She doesn't like females. She doesn't like anyone female touching her. With same time, she has got increased sexual desire. We need to compare nymphomania, platina, lilium tigrinum, murex. Each one has got its own symptomatology to differentiate. Another indication of Raphanus sativus is regarding the turbid urine. Urine is so much thick with yellow yeast-like sediments. It has been described that it is so thick like that of milk. We need to compare phosphoric acid, One more indication of Raphanus sativus is regarding the post-operative gas pains. Abdomen is distended with pad-like swelling of the intestine. There is a globus hystericus, there is a incarceration of flatus, there is a full of flatulence, and person is unable to belch or person is unable to pass gas. It is so severe that the peristaltic movement is becoming reverse and person will omit the fecal matter. Reverse peristaltic movement, and there is vomiting of highly offensive fecal matter as you see in opium, as you see in asafoetida. You can think of Raphanus sativus in those cases in which there are signs suggesting intestinal obstruction, where there is a good deal of irregularly disturbed abdominal distension, where you can see pockets of wind which the patient cannot move, they cannot get it up or cannot pass away. Thus, you need to differentiate other drugs for the post-operative gas pains or post-operative complications. We have a wonderful remedy called staphysagria, which is usually used after an abdominal surgery. Maybe a person is having constipation after abdominal surgery. You can think of staphysagria. We have another drug, sulfuric acid. After surgery, person is having full of flatulence, full of acidity, burning and sour erectations with a tendency who have a craving history of alcohol. You can think of sulfuric acid. We also think of allium cephas for post-operative pains. Another indication of Raphanus sativus regarding the putrid hot erectations. So everything, all the complaints are centered around the GIT. The putrid erectations which causes a burning in the epigastric region, followed by a hot erectation. Very often this GIT manifestations ends with headache, like that of Nymphomania, like that of Lycopodium. Regarding the putrid hot erectations, we need to differentiate other remedies like asafoetida, carbavage, Lycopodium, China. Raphanus is also indicated for toothache. Here, toothache mainly in the early months of pregnancy. The toothache is more of neuralgic toothache. There's a pain shooting, the pain is pulsating towards the evening. The toothache is mainly aggravation when she lies down. Because of toothache which compels her to get up from the sleep and walk around, and she feels better by walking. So these symptoms you might have heard in Ratania. Ratania also a very good remedy for toothache during the time of pregnancy. The pain is so severe, especially in the night, which compels her to get up from the sleep. Same symptoms and same modality you can see in Raphanus sativa. In Raphanus, add on to that more of globus manifestation, more of hysterical manifestation, you can think of this remedy. Otherwise, you can think of Ratania. For the toothache, we have got several drugs like creosotum, staphysagria, belladonna, chamomilla. Each one we have different modality to differentiate. Another indication of Raphanus sativus regarding the stool. The stool is profuse and it is more of frothy in nature. Especially the individual who have got globus manifestations, the individual who have got incarcerated flatus, individual who have got post-operative complication end up in having a diarrhea. The diarrhea is more of brown and more of profuse and more of frothy in nature, associated with colic. It is mainly indicated for the individuals who have got chronic diarrhea. The stool is sometimes greenish, sometimes brownish, sometimes bloody in nature. Person is unable to belch out, he is unable to pass the flatus. For them, you can think of Raphanus sativus. It's also indicated for stitching type of pain in the liver and splenic area. We have got several drugs for the liver affinities and spleen affinities. The remedies like chelidonium, remedies like Cardus marianus, remedies like taraxacum, remedies like Cyananthus americana. So each one you need to differentiate based on the other associated symptoms. Let us try to understand some of the mental feature of Raphanus sativus. Being the acute drug which is most commonly used for various GIT manifestations, but it is also a very important remedy for hysterical females. Especially females who are very much hysterical with a globus sensation, and also she is nymphomaniac. She has got increased sexual desire associated with some kind of irritations at the genitals. She is nymphomaniac, but she has got aversion to her own sex. That means she doesn't like females. She has got aversion to her own sex. Even the touch of woman's hand, which causes some kind of disgust, which produces some kind of uncomfort, some kind of weariness in her. She feels some kind of disturbed. She feels sad and depressed. Even some woman's hand touches her by accidentally. She has got a kind of capricious mania. She has got stupefaction with sadness and tearful mood at the same time, which alternates with hopefulness. Sometimes she is sad and tearful, another time she is hopefulness. There is a kind of changeability, as you see in Ignatia, as you see in Pulsatilla, as you see in Lacanine. There is a great excitement of the brain, another time she feels as though she is intoxicated. Sometimes she is excited, sometimes she feels intoxicated. She feels very sad. She feels so much melancholic. She feels so much tearful, especially along with when some women are nearby. She has got marked fatigue of mind and body. It has been described that she has got marked loss of memory, as you see in Lacaninum. Her thoughts are missing. She has got full of confusion of ideas. She has got, in general, aversion to children, especially she doesn't like girls. She feels that she lost her spirit. She feels that she is about to die. There is a great anguish and there is a great fear that she is going to die. She feels that her death is nearby and only relieved and ameliorated by religious consolation. So this is how some of the mental state of Raphanus sativus.